when I record the advanced ones, I record them, but I don't post them. Okay. So I don't have these published on YouTube. The reason behind that is because we do go over information that we get off of the academy. What I'm showing you guys is what I've learned off of the academy. And so because it is more on the independent trading side, I just would want this information for you guys. So if any of you guys want a copy of tonight's, then just send me a message and I'll shoot you once I do upload it. It will be on my YouTube. It just won't be a published link, and then it does expire. So just so you guys know, I am recording this call. There's a couple of people that I really wanted on this call and they couldn't make it. So I told them that I would record it. Okay. All right, guys. So every Tuesday, I'd like to do a little bit more advanced crypto trading training. Now, the reason for this is because a lot of us, like you guys know that Thursdays I like to do an intro and I go over the scalper and I go over, just basics, basically how to maneuver inside of our academy. The DCX Academy that we have has the curriculum, has the go lives, has the scalper, and I go over, how to basically get started. We have so many new people that they jump on board and they don't know where to start. And guys, when I first started, and a lot of you guys can relate, the reason why I do that every Thursday and I'll continue to do it, it's because when I first started, even though we had the people that helped us enroll, it's not the same as having somebody who actually like, okay, like here, go to here, click here, this is how you do it. Like once you guys are able to have that guidance, I feel that it relieves a lot of the stress or like the fear that people have, because this is the unknown. We have so many people who start trading who don't have any experience in trading at all, right? So on Tuesdays, though, we go over a little bit more advanced stuff. Like a lot of you guys have already been trading for a while, right? A lot of you guys, either you traded Forex or high frequency, or you guys have been trading crypto for a minute. And so I don't have to really break down any basics, okay? Now, one of the things that I do want to go over, and this is something that I was asked a lot. I had a lot of you guys that sent me out, like you guys sent me messages, and you guys were telling me that you guys were taking the trades, and even though they were closing positively, you were still negative. And guys, unfortunately, the higher that crypto gets, like Bitcoin specifically, the more spread, like the bigger spread we're gonna have. And so remember how I always tell you guys that I was able to turn a $3 account into $22,000 in 4 months. Unfortunately, that's no longer possible, because a $3 account before, when the spread was only like 10, 7, 15, it was possible. But the spread right now, guys, is like 72, 73 pips. Okay. So one of the things that I really do want to go over with you guys today is how to place your trade where you're going to still be profitable. Because, and let me know in the chat, you guys, how many of you guys have put in a trade, especially like on the scalper? And I will go over this again, obviously, when we do the scalper training, but how many of you guys have put in a trade and then like you catch the 50 or 100 pips, but you're still negative? Like, and even if you're just negative like cents or a penny, like it's still not coming out blue, right? There's a lot of you guys that have that issue. And the thing that I want to share with you guys in this training is more of the stuff that they don't tell you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure that they do mention it, but it's like, why so? Like, we want to know why, right? And so a lot of the times you guys don't realize, like on your MetaTrader, you guys have a blue line and a red line, right? And the difference between those two is that's going to be the spread. Like you automatically, when you jump into a trade, you're negative. Okay. Not to mention you still have like whatever your broker charges you. So you have the difference, right? So like if you're up, let's say 10 cents, you are only going to take home like 3 of those cents, right? And so this is where you guys have to understand that your spread has a lot to do with it. Now, if you guys have Hugo's way, I don't even want to know what your spread is. It's high. It's so high. And so like I really went on a like mission to try and find a broker that had a lower spread. But KOT still seems to be the best. I looked at other ones. I looked at Prosperity. I even asked on the IML Facebook page, and I asked if anybody had some brokers that they could use. Now, there are some brokers that you can use, but they're not allowed to trade on the weekends. And all of you guys know that Bitcoin loves to make its moves on the weekends, right? And so this is something that I'm not willing to give up. And so I'm willing to take that spread. I'm willing to adjust my trading to make sure that the spread doesn't completely take me out, or at least I'm getting some sort of profit. Okay. So when you guys are trading, you need to account for your spread. You need to, right? Especially if you guys are trading the 50, 100, and 150, like you guys should be doing, like, let's say a 75 pip, like account for a 75 pip spread just to be on the safe side, right? So instead of 50, you guys are going to do 125 TP1, right? 125 pips for TP1. And then you're going to do 175 for TP2, right? And then for TP3, you're going to do 225. Now, the reason why you're going to do that, it's because you guys are going to still take home the 50, 100, and 150. You're still going to walk away pocket 300 pips, okay? Now, this is very important because if you guys let TP1 hit, that's 50 pips. So you guys are still going to be negative 25 pips. Does that make sense? Like you guys are still going to be in the red, and I don't want that for you guys. So you guys really need to account for the spread, the difference. Now, another thing that you guys need to understand is that when you guys are using TradingView, and if you guys are TradingView, or if you guys are using let's say even the scalper, because I do have a lot of my people who actually will mark up their charts in the scalper and kind of just take the trade from there. But if you look, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this, if you guys look at the scalper, like it says Bitfinex, right? So Bitfinex right off the bat is already off from price, from what we have price, right? Like right now, look, we have 50,000 475, right? Is this correct? Let's update this. Hold on. Oops, let me make this small. Ask Angel, baby. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay, so price is at 50,461, right? And we have 50,545 or 536. It's going crazy right now. So you guys already see that there's a difference right there as well. So you guys need to account for that difference in price. And if you guys are using TradingView, I like to use the Bitfinex chart, which is the exact same one that they use for the swipe coin scalper. And there's already a difference in the price as well, 423, and we have 445, right? So guys, there is a difference, and that's something that you guys really need to look out for. So for those of you guys who have been trading and have been coming out negative, especially when using the scalper, this is what you guys are going to do. You guys are going to do TP1 again at 125 pips, TP2 at 175 pips, and TP3 at 225. Right? So then that way you guys are still taking home, the 50, 100, and 150. Now, I promise you guys, once you start doing that, you guys are going to start seeing some more blue. Now, am I afraid that it's not going to reach those TPs? Hell no, guys. Bitcoin will 100, 200 pips is nothing in Bitcoin. Like I put my stop loss at 200, 300 pips. And sometimes I get stopped out still because it just moves so fast, right? So this is something that you guys should not be afraid of. It will hit it. And if it doesn't, guess what? We're going to trail our stop losses and still, come out on top, right? That's something that you guys really want to look out for. So for those of you guys that did message me, that could be an issue. If you do have Hugo's Way, you guys, I'm sorry, but Hugo's Way spread is very high. I did use them for the longest time. And trust me, you guys, I was still able to trade very well, very successfully, very profitably on Hugo's Way. The only thing is that when I started using KOT, the spread difference was so much. Now, I think the difference between Hugo's Way and KOT, it might be like 30, 40 pips, like the difference. So the spread is still high, but it's going to be high regardless where you go. So in other words, if you guys find a broker that does have a lower spread that still allows you to trade on the weekends, please share it with the group, share it on one of these Zoom calls so we can all take advantage. But for now, let's make do with what we have. If you have Hugo's Way or Prosperity, the spread is the same. So you guys can go ahead and just account for that when you guys are making your trades. Okay. So that's one of the things that I think is very important for you guys to understand. This is why I mark up on my phone. For those of you guys know, I like when I ping pong, which we are going to go into that a little bit more in detail today. When I ping pong, then I mark up on my phone. For the reason for that, it's because I don't want to sit there and do my math wrong and then put in a trade and potentially miss it, right? So we have to be able to, okay, guys, look, people are already putting in the chat like some brokers that they recommend. So for those of you guys who haven't had a broker or want to try a new one, take a look at the chat, take a screenshot of it, and then just check out the broker, check out what they like as far as like their spread, the minimum deposit, all of that stuff. Like you really want to make sure that you get all the information so you can make a logical decision, I guess, of what's going to benefit you, be more profitable for you. Okay. But yeah, guys, this is why I mark up on my phone. I put my fibs on my phone. I mark up on my phone. For those of you guys that follow me on Instagram, you guys can always see that my chart is messy on my phone too. Like I have fibs on there. I have my lines on there. I'll draw trend lines when I need them. So I do that because it's my chart. It's what my broker is using. And so if I have an entry, that's exactly what it's going to be at, right? I don't have to account for the difference in the spread as far as like using my other charts. Okay. So when I do that, you guys, the reason I mark up on my phone and I do my fibs on the phone. For those of you guys who don't know how to use your MetaTrader, play with it, you guys. There's videos that you guys can watch on how to use your MetaTrader. You can throw fibs on there. I have my Bollinger Bands and I can use fibs. Like I said, I do horizontal. You guys can get in the habit of marking up on your phone just to eliminate any mistakes, okay? Now, I've said this in every single one of my Zooms. What's going to protect you guys and what's going to help you guys become profitable traders is going to be proper risk management, and then just to minimize your mistakes. If you guys do not have a trading journal where you guys are writing down your trades, you need to start. How many of you guys have a trading journal? I know Coach V has one. Shout out to her. Actually, I'm going to show you guys because I love it so much. Hold on. Coach V, she's one of my girls. She actually gave me this trading journal. It is a specific crypto trading journal. Yeah, they're the ones that named me the crypto queen. So they actually got me this. I love it, you guys. It's super thick, has a lot of pages. So I could just write my trades over and over again. So if you guys are not keeping track and keeping a trading journal, you need to start. You need to start because you guys need to see where you guys are entering, how you guys are feeling emotionally. You guys need to see if there's any mistakes that you're making, if you're jumping in prematurely, if you guys are, I don't know, angry. Like there's just so many factors that you have to be able to see, like write them down and see. Somebody asked what's inside the trading journal. What do you write? So here it is. I don't know if you guys can see. So it's date, trading instrument, symbol, trade type, buy stop, sell stop, all that. Entry price, trade size, total cost, take profit, stop loss, reason to open trade, closing price, profit, loss, and notes. So you guys can see that you just like basically fill it out straight across and you write down all of your trades. Now, guys, this is important because a lot of you guys are either new or ready to take it serious. Like when I do my trainings on, like, let's say building like the residual, we have a start date and we have a start date, right? We have two start dates. We have the date that we start and then the day that we start, right? That's the day that you guys are like, okay, I'm all in. I'm going to take this serious. And so a lot of you guys are at that point right now that you guys really want to take this serious. And so you guys need to start writing down your trading journals. Now, what I'm going to show you guys right now, I am going to go into how I ping pong. Again, if you follow me on social media, you guys know that I'm constantly like posting that I just ping pong Bitcoin up and down. Now, I love doing that. And I'm not greedy. Again, if you follow me on social media, you saw that I posted the other day, like be a professional trade closer. Like a lot of you guys can know how to trade. A lot of you guys can know how to put fibs, throw fibs on your charts. A lot of you guys know good entries, but then you guys get greedy and you don't trail your stop loss or you don't put a stop loss. And then you end up like closing out, like you end up basically blowing that trade. You could be up $5,000, but you're like, it's going to keep going up. This is the move to 65,000. And then look at where price went down to almost 43,000, you guys. It went down 10,000 pips lower than what the highest that it went, the highest high. So this is where you guys literally need to let go of your ego. And you guys need to understand that profit is profit. Profit is better than no profit. If you guys trail your stop loss and just trail your stop loss, you guys are going to come out on top because your profits or your balance is going to increase. Your balance is going to increase. Now, when I ping pong, I love it, because it kind of conditions me to take profit and then start over, like look for a new entry. And for those of you guys that think that you're going to miss out on an entry, guys, Bitcoin specifically, Bitcoin and Ethereum, there is always a chance to re-enter. There's always an entry. There's always a chance to re-enter. And I'm going to show you guys on the dip, okay? Because I think that was something that everybody wants. All of you guys that are on this call right now, at one point or another, you guys thought, I'm going to catch the big wave up, that big trade where it just like, it like goes up 6,000 pips, 10,000 pips. A lot of you guys have thought that, right? Or a lot of you guys are watching it and be like, I'm gonna take a sell when it takes the dip. And it happened, and a lot of the times, guys, I have mad insomnia right now. I don't know why, but I mean, on the bright side, I'm always trying to see the positive parts of it, right? On the bright side, I can stay up and I can trade. Where's my girl? She was texting me all night yesterday and she's on the East Coast and it was already late my time. So I could just imagine what time it was for her. But she was asking me questions on Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? She was like, because she had a trade and everything. And so on the bright side, it does help me like trade. So I don't know how many people, there she is. I don't know how many people would actually would have caught that. But if you guys would have known what to look for, what to set up, then you guys could have potentially caught it. But there was always a chance to re-enter, okay? So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start showing you this. We are gonna go into Fibs. I know that there's some of you guys that were on my previous call. Guys, the Fib theory, I'm a Fib trader. I'm Fib, I use my Fibs religiously. My partner will tell me things like, oh, well, did you see this? And he's using like all these other things, which works. But I'm just like, I'm using Fibs. Like I keep it simple. It works for me. I love it. And so I learned it on the academy. Okay. So again, you know that I'm always going to throw value right back into the academy because that is what taught me to do what I do. Right. And so I'm not going to go too much into detail on the Fibs, but because you guys have access to it. You guys have 24 access to it if you keep paying for your academy monthly. If your tuition is up to date, then you guys have access to all the Go Lives that you can actually rewind and watch over, take notes, and you guys will be able to understand Fibs more, okay? So I'm not gonna go too much into detail on the Fibs, but I'm just gonna show you how I was able to catch and ride Bitcoin from 58,000, like to something, all the way down to like 48. I think I took profit at 48,000, okay? So you guys, it was 10,000 pips, 10,210 pips from the highest point all the way to the bottom. But there was other entries that were made, and I'm going to show you guys those today. And I do want you guys to take notes because I want you to back test this. I want you to go back and go to your trading view and just try it, back test it over and over and over again until you guys feel comfortable. Now, we have demos for a reason, okay? A lot of you guys may be scared. And again, I know that like before it was super simple to create a big account with a minimum of like $30, $40, $50. And now we have to start thinking that we may need to deposit a little bit more. Okay, this is for all of my newer people. I used to get away with just like telling people, hey, deposit at $30 at least, and you can grow. And trust me, you can still grow a $30 account. But with the spread how it is, we want to make sure that we're a little bit, I guess, safer covered. And so we want to have a little bit bigger account so that way we can take account the spreads. Okay. So guys, I know that a lot of you may be scared to do it on your live account, but practice it on your demo. Practice it on your demo while you guys are taking like Picasso's trades. But again, I'm going to show you how to look at Picasso's trades. So then that way you're not gonna jump in blindly, right? And kind of maximize your results and minimize your losses, okay? So you guys need to be practicing. So for all of you guys that are on this call right now, back test it all on your demo account. Okay, that's the beauty of it. Practice it over and over and over again. So then that way you guys can get comfortable and you guys can see it. And I know that Coach V, I know that Frank, I know that they can like back me up on this, but it gets to a point where you can just look at a chart and be like, it's at the 50%, 618. This is going to be a 786 entry. Like you can see it now because you've seen it over and over again. My partner who just recently started really throwing himself into crypto, he sees it now. And so you guys are going to train your eye to be able to see it. And then you guys are going to be able to be like, okay, this is where I see it. I'm going to throw a fib on there just to make sure. And then you guys just do it. Okay. So it's going to be coming automatically. I actually use MetaTrader 4. MetaTrader 5 is not bad. My friend Charlie, he was telling me that I would love MetaTrader 5. I haven't tried it. I haven't used it. Mine is more like, because I'm so used to it, I don't know what the difference is. He just told me that I would love it. I know he was trying to explain it to me, but I think we were both trading at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to him. All right. So, but I don't know, you guys look at it, check it out, and then see what the difference is, right? Because then that way you can help your team as well. All right, guys. So I'm going to share my screen now. We're going to go into the chart. Okay. So here we go, guys. All right. So this is when it came up here. Okay. Now, price, this is the highest that it went. It went to 48,420 something, right? That's the highest that it went. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart just because we are really going to get surgical with this, okay? So guys, this is my trading view. Again, any of you guys can create an account with trading view. This is, my account isn't one that I pay for. I do want to get the one that I pay for, but I just haven't come around to it. So right now, this particular chart allows you to put, I think, 3 indicators. Now, I did have my Bollinger Bands, but I took off my Bollinger Bands because I do trade a lot with the Hakinashi candles, which it measures the momentum. And so there's some indicators that I use with those candles. And so I have them on there. So I took off my Bollinger Bands. But if you guys have the advanced one, the one that you do pay for, the Pro, I think, then you can put as many indicators as you want. So I do recommend you guys get that, just because why not? You know what I mean? You want to have all the confirmations that you can have to make sure that you guys are trading, or that the trade is going to be something that you want to jump into. Okay. So, all right, guys. So let me move this. All right. So guys, when price came up here, one of the things that I look at now on the 1 hour, obviously I wasn't going to see anything, right? Because if I'm sorry, on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, like if you guys look around this area on the 4 hour, because I do look at all the time frames. Another one of you guys asked me, like, at what time frame do my fibs activate? And guys, it activates on all of them. I've been actually waiting for a fib on the daily. So like, there's a lot of times where we see different, like we can throw a fib and see different setups, but they may not activate like right away. Now, if you guys can see right here, very small, this is where one of my entries are. But if you see, like on the 4 hour, none of this was here. All of this was not here yet. So once the candle started coming down, it's still a 4 hour candle. So if I'm going from bigger time frames to smaller time frames, obviously on the 4 hour, there's nothing for me to mark up. Absolutely nothing, because I'm still waiting for that one candle to close and the other candle to open and see where it goes. But you have to understand that it's 4 hours until that candle closes, right? So in this case, there was nothing, right? So then you go down to the 1 hour, right? Now on the 1 hour, again, like you did start seeing a little a candle coming down, right? But again, there's really nothing you can do. Now you could mark it up from low to high to see if there's going to be a potential another swing up, right? And then you guys would have seen that it's just, you know, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down. It just kept going down at that point, right? But so this is on the hour. There was still nothing really going on here, okay? But there could be a potential buy. So this is how I think, just so you guys can see. I want you guys to I don't want you to think like me, but I want you to see what I see. Does that make sense? Because then you guys are going to put your own little twist on it, and it's going to be how you trade. But like me, I looked at the 4 hour, nothing, right? I looked at the 1 hour, and there was, the next candle opened to the downside. So it started coming down. It was a white candle, but there's still nothing. Now, if it goes down, that's the potential low to high. So I'm thinking like, okay, this could be a buy area, right? So we set it up. So there's a potential buy on the 1 hour, right? But then we go down even further. So now we're on the 15-minute, right? Now we're going to see, what we see on the smaller time frame, because if we see a potential buy on the 1 hour, let's see what we see on the 15-minute. And on the 15-minute, guys, we actually saw a sell. Now, this is where you guys, now if you missed it, you missed it. Oh, well, I'm going to show you how you guys can get in more. But so this is the highest that it went. Now on the 15 minute, obviously the candles, we see them, right? And so it came down, right? Now on the 1 hour, we do have a low to high, right? So there's a potential buy, but maybe, and this is on the hourly. So on the smaller time frames, you could always catch some trades in between, okay? So if you have the 1 hour, there, how many 15 minutes are in an hour, right? So you could potentially have another trade in between. So this is what I was looking at. I was like, okay, there could be a potential other swing up to the upside, but let's look at the smaller time frame. So here we have a high to low. Now I know that this may not seem like a lot, you guys, but this is how surgical I get. Now, if you want to take it even further and go down to the 5 minute, you'll be able to see a sell setup as well. Okay. So hold on 1 second, guys. Let me mute everybody. Okay. So right here, you guys, this is where a sell happened. Okay. Now every green line that you see will be the 786 entry. Okay. And if you guys know Fibs, the 50% 618 is a sweet spot, but if it keeps going, it could potentially hit the 786, and then that's when it's going to actually play out. Okay. So if it does go up to like the 786 in this case, then you could put another entry there and then write it down. Okay. Now, this is a 15-minute time frame, so the distance between the 618 and the 786 isn't as much as opposed to if you were doing it on an hour or 4 hour, where it's like 500, 600, 700 pips difference, right? Because depending on what your account is, we want to make sure that you guys aren't over leveraging or getting stopped out because you don't have enough money in your account. Okay, so if you enter a trade here, a sell, like let's say you would have entered at the 50 or the 618, but it kept going up, you probably would have gotten stopped out depending on what your stop loss is. Like I said, mine is usually 200 to 300 pips. My account can handle it though, okay? Keep in mind, my account can handle it. We have to make sure that your guys' stop losses are according to your account, okay? If I tell you guys, put a 500 pip stop loss, and you have an $80 account, you're not going to put a 500 pip stop loss. Does that make sense? But again, you guys, this is what I want you to see. All right. So let's say that we put a trade in, right here. Okay. So that's 58,110. Okay. So there it is, 58,110. Right. And it keeps going up. So now you're at 58,160. Okay. So that's only 50 pips. You're good. Right. But then it comes up here and that's 58,229. So you see, that wasn't a bad trade. If you were okay with the drawdown here, then that's fine. Take another entry right here at the 786. So now you have a 786, the 618, and the 50%. You have 3 trades that are going on right here, right? And guys, take a look at this. Look at how far it went down, right? And so when you guys see this, and then you see this little correction, if you guys would have gotten stopped out here, that's fine. If you would have trailed your stop loss, you know what I'm saying? Because then what are we going to do? We're going to look at it again and see where we can get in again, right? And so in this case, obviously I didn't move my stop loss, not that low. Like I am pretty ballsy and I'll just keep trailing my stop loss pretty tightly if I think that, and this is the reason why, you guys, because there was still in my mind, there was still a potential buy on the hour, right? So I wanted to trail my stop loss, but I wanted to still give myself some room. But depending on what you're seeing, this is where your proper risk management is going to save your ass. Because let's say that you're in this sell, right? And then this little, pullback here, like what if this would have just been that like shoom all the way to the top, right? If that happened and you didn't put your stop loss, you guys would have lost out on this trade. And from here to here, let's look to see how many pips that is from the highest to like right here. That's 785 pips. So let's say that it didn't keep going down, right? And what happened was that this pullback actually kept on going to the upside, right? Then you guys, if you wouldn't have moved your stop loss, you guys would have lost out, okay? After already being up 700 and something pips. Now, I promise you, and I know that there's people in this call right now that's happened to, where you're in profit and then it goes it just like fakes you out and it ends up going either to the upside, to the downside, completely takes you out and you lose all of the profit. How many of you guys has that happened to? And be honest, you guys, we're not here to judge. It's happened to me all of the time. You know what I'm saying? How many of you guys have experienced that where you're like, shit, if I would have only moved my stop loss, if I would have only taken profit when I was high, when I was up there, if I would have only secured the bag, right? This is where we have to let go of our egos and actually take the fucking bag, because 700 pips, you guys, is a decent amount of pips. If you guys are trading, 50 cents, that's 300 and something dollars. If you guys are trading 10 cents, that's still 70 something dollars that you guys are taking home. You guys are securing it. Now your account is not 50, it's 120. Like at 10 cents, at 70 dollars, right? Profit. So you guys have to understand, you need to secure the bag, take the money. Okay. So in this case, you guys, I didn't get stopped out. And then, but it did have a little pullback, right? So it created, what is this, guys? Do you guys know what this is? This is a higher low, right? And it created a lower low, right? So there's a higher low and a lower low. So guess what, you guys? I can put another fib here. I'm going to throw another fib here to here and see what happens. Now, I'm still in these cells. I got 3 cells going on, right? My crazy ass probably has like 6 cells going on, but you guys have 3 good entries right here, the 786, the 618, and the 50%, right? And let me share this with you guys. A lot of you ask me, like, how do I enter it? So if I would have entered that 50 and I would have gotten stopped out, let's say for one, whatever, it hit my stop loss, I got stopped out, but it kept going up at this, and it hit the 786, right? And then it's coming back down. Guess what, guys? Put a sell stop. Put a sell stop and ride that momentum to the downside, because then you will eliminate your drawdown. So if you would have put a sell stop, like let's say you guys would have gotten stopped out. Okay, you got stopped out, boo-hoo-hoo, you lost, $5, $10, $100, whatever, right? Put a sell stop on the 618 and the 50%. And guess what? Boom, boom, boom. Now you're in profit on 3 trades with no drawdown, right? So now that $100 that you lost because of your stop loss, you already recuperated plus and some, because you got 3 active trades, 0 drawdown. Your account is positive. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not over leveraged, like and it's coming back down. Now, even these pullbacks right here, guys, these wicks, you're still in profit. How many pips are you in profit still? From the 50 to like the top of this wick right here, you're still 198 pips in profit. So even with the pullback, you're still in profit. Your account is still positive, okay? So right here, you guys, that's just a little something that I always do on my buys or on a sells. Sometimes I don't even put a trade at the 50. I just put it at the 618. And if I see that it comes up, the minute that it goes like to the middle of my little box, I'll put either a buy stop or a sell stop on the 50 and just let it play out, right? And sometimes, guys, I don't get lucky and it hits and then it goes back up. And so I'm like, well, shit, I wanted to eliminate the drawdown and I still got it anyways. But at that point, you guys, I've already like activated, let's say the 786 or the 886. So I'm still positive. So even if I have a little drawdown on the 50, because it's still kind of like, consolidating it before the swing down, I'm okay with it, right? All right, guys. So now we have a higher low and, a lower high and a lower low. Okay. So now we're going to put another fib on here, right? So which is the highest closing candle? Is this blue one. We're going to draw a fib left to right, like always. And then boom, here you go, you guys. Did I do that right? Yes. Okay. So right here, you guys, this is that's a 786 entry right there. Okay. So boom, you have another time to entry. So for those of you guys that missed this, like you guys, shit. I missed it. That would have been a perfect sell. Look at how much it went down. Look at price, you guys. There's always a chance to re-enter. So if you miss this one, okay, guess what? You guys can enter right here. And look at this, you guys. It played out exactly the same way. It would have activated your 50, your 618. It came all the way to the 786. Probably would have stopped you out if you had your stop loss. But then check it out, you guys. You could have put a sell stop here and a sell stop here, and then boom. This probably wouldn't have gotten activated. If you guys can see here, the wick was barely there. With spreads, you guys, now that they're so high, I have a hard time getting wicked into entries. So, and I'm sure that you guys have set your sell limits or buy limits or whatever, and you miss it, like it doesn't wick your entry, but you see that price is there. Guys, the candle could be right here, but because of the spread, it still will not activate it. So this one probably didn't get activated, right? But if you have the 50 and the 618, and even if it came up a little bit and you got stopped out, sell stop, sell stop. So the minute momentum starts picking up to the downside, you're in profit. Boom, boom. Okay. So here you go, you guys. And you see, this is a perfect example. If it would have wicked it down here and then you see how it came up. So I would have been in profit here. Then it would have come up here. I still would have been in drawdown and then it would have come back down. So that's a perfect little example there. But guess what, guys? Another entry. Boom, boom. 2 entries right here. So if you're still in this trade and now you're in this trade, now you're like in profit because you're in profit from here. Let's check it out, you guys. From the highest down to, let's say, right here, right? That's 1,278 pips, okay? And then you entered on the other one. So you're already up 1,278 pips and you entered again. And because you're up 1,278 pips, your account can handle it now. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you guys getting this? Your account is big enough because of the profit. It frees up your margin that you guys can get in on another trade. You're not going to get stopped out. Okay. So then now we're in 2 trades, right? We have 2 trade entries, one here and one here. Okay. So now, guys, it's coming down, right? And then it's coming up. Now, what did this create? You guys, you have right here, this was a lower high. But what was this? This is another lower high. And what did it create down here, guys? A lower low. So guess what? Let's put our fib on there again. Let's check it out. Let's see what we can get here. So the blue candle, it looks like it was the higher closing candle, right? And the white candle was the lowest closing candle. And boom, here you have another entry, you guys. You have another sell and another 618. Now the 618 entry right here, you guys, it did wicked this time. Okay, that was a possible, actually, I don't know. Well, we would have to see on our MetaTrader, but that looks like it could have potentially wicked that entry. Okay, so here you go again, you guys. If you would have trailed your stop loss, you would have gotten stopped out, because from here to here, and this happened, these are 15-minute candles, you guys, so it happened pretty quickly, but check it out. It wicked right here, so that's 205 pips. So if you guys would have trailed your stop loss, you would have gotten stopped out. But guys, you guys would have gotten stopped out at some good pips, because let's say you moved your stop loss, Let's say you moved your stop loss, like you see this coming down and you moved it right here, okay? So like, let's count from the highest entry is the 618, right? Down to, like, let's say right here, that's 1,800 pips that you caught on this trade, on the high one. That's just on one. That's not including the 50, right? So let's say it got stopped out here, 1,856. And then let's check the 50 now. If you guys would have done the 50, like, so you guys would have caught 1,800 plus 1,600. If you guys would have gotten stopped out, you would have gotten stopped out with over 3,000 pips. Are you guys going to cry about it? I mean, like, seriously, tell me what you guys are going to do. If you got stopped out in 3,000 pips, are you going to be upset? Not to mention that you still have the higher entries, the 3 potential higher entries that you would have caught all of the, let's see how much it is there. Let's say you would have moved your stop loss on this trade and on this trade, on all of them, okay? So from here, let's say it was same area down here, right? Let me make this smaller, you guys, hold on a second. So from that one entry up here, you caught 3,053 pips. So let's round it out to 3,000. From the 786 entry down here, 3,000 pips, okay? Somebody keep count, okay? 3,000. Now let's look at the 618. 618 to the same area right here, 1,900, okay? So 3,000 plus 1,900. Somebody keep track, okay? You guys are gonna add this all up, okay? Now, the 50%, okay? 50, 1,800 pips, okay? So 3,000 plus 1,900 plus 1,500, I'm sorry, 1,800, okay? That's what you would have caught on just 3 trades from there to there if you would have gotten stopped out, moved your stop loss, which would have been the smart thing to do, right? Plus, oh, I'm sorry, you guys, it's over here. Look at that. My bad. Let's do it again. Oh, no, I was right. 3,000 pips. Okay. I thought I was doing it wrong. Okay, guys, how are they all 3,000? Okay, so that's going to be like, they're all going to be about 3,000 pips. My bad. I was measuring it to the wrong one. But you guys get my point. That would have been like almost 9,000 pips altogether from this trade. Okay. Now let's say this one would have gotten stopped out too. So let's say 9,000 just to be, rounded out, 9,000. And then from here to here, let's say 1,700. 1,600. Okay, guys, so there you go. What's 9,000 plus 1,700 plus 1,600? If you guys would have gotten stopped out in with those pips, would you have been upset? Even at a penny, you guys, even at a penny, it would have been a decent little bag, okay? 10 cents, you're in the thousands, you're four figures right there, okay? 50 cents, guys, you guys are definitely firing your boss. Do you see? Trailing your stop loss, you guys could have gotten in 2 entries and then still trailed your stop loss and come home with a big bag, okay? But let's look again here. So here we have another lower high and a lower low. We got it, we marked it up again. Here's the 50%, my little sweet spot right here, and then the 786, okay? So from here to here, you guys, if you guys would have gotten stopped out, all you would have had to do, wait for this to activate or put some sell stops. If you want to be on the safe side and not, you know, want to have to like, oh, when do I put it? Do I not? Whatever. Is it going to keep going up? Then put sell stops. You guys be on the safe side. If you see it coming up, sell stop. Okay. So now you have a sell stop here. Now you see it coming down. Okay. Again, if you would have, let's say you guys would have put your stop loss right here, trailed it down. So let's say you guys would have gotten stopped out again here to, let's say right here. That's 2,000 pips, you guys. That's from the 618. If you guys would have done the 50%, oops, from here to here, that's another 1,800 pips. Okay, so you're already up, what is it? 9, 10, 11, 12, like 12,000, what, 600, 12,000, something like that, right? Plus another 2,000 plus another 1,800 pips. Like, you guys are seeing this? Or can you guys get me? Can you guys drop some sevens in the chat if you guys are seeing how valuable Fibs can be, how it could take your trading career to the next level? Like, can you guys see? And none of these trades were called out, right? At least I don't think so. I don't know. Like I said, my app is not working, but I don't think they were called out because there have been no take profits, no nothing posted in the DCX telegrams or anything. So these are so far, 3 entries that you could have taken. 1, 2, 3. Now, do you guys see if you would have gotten stopped out? Boo hoo hoo. Okay, I got stopped out. Guess what? High to low. How low can you go? Another entry. Get back in the trade. Now your account is positive, hella positive. So now you guys can afford to drop higher lot sizes, right? Now you're not going to be scared. If you do lose a trade, get stopped out, get a little red, it's okay, right? So, all right, guys. So then now, again, that was the lower high, lower low, another lower high, and another lower low. So guys, let's see if we can do it for a 4th time. All right. So now we're going to come in here and we're going to measure this again, right? From the wick of the highest closing candle to the wick of the lowest closing candle. They look the same. So we're just going to put it right here. Boom, 50%, 618. Now you guys can see that it didn't come all the way to the 886. So we didn't have to worry about that. You could have just put sell limit. It would have wicked it, would have come down positive, wicked it. This one would have never activated. So you guys just would have had one trade open, but it's okay. One trade is enough, right? Oops, what did I do? All right, so here we go, you guys. Check this out. So now you have this one little trade open, right? So you're coming down. Let's say you put your stop loss, boom, 50% right here. Let's say you get stopped out right here, 3,900 pips. Even if you would have gotten 3,700, even if it would have gotten stopped out at 3,000, guys, 3,000 on top of everything that you guys have already caught. Do you guys see this? Like, can you guys see how many, if you guys would have done all of this, and all of this happened within a day, like all of this happened, it's 15 minutes a candle. You guys do see how much time has passed. Let's see, hold on one second. Let's move this over here. So from here to here, measure the time, you guys. Let's say from here to here, so because that's where you guys would have gotten the, how do you call it? You would have caught all of those pips. You guys totally would have been done for the entire month if you would have caught that at a decent lot size. Like, if you guys measure how many, like I told you, from 3 entries here, from here, and imagine if you guys wouldn't have moved your stop loss. Like, imagine if you guys would have just like kept them open and caught from here to here. Let's see if you guys would have just left it open and caught the trade from here. Oh, I hate when I do this with my computer. Hold on. I'm going to move my camera to you. All right, you guys, from here down to here. Okay. And let's say that you guys would have just left it kept, because obviously this candle came all the way down. I actually closed out my trades at 48,000. Somewhere down here. Hold on. So yeah, 10,000 pips, you guys. 10,000 pips on one trade if you would have left that open. All right. But if not, guess what? Boom, 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 boom. Four trade entries, guys. Four entries that you guys could have taken and you guys could have been profitable in these trades. Can you guys see this? Okay. How many of you guys can like see the value of it? And that, guys, I'm always saying fibs don't fib. I know it sounds corny, but seriously, I could go on fibs over and over and over again. Okay. So guys, I'm going to come back and like look at the questions, see if you guys have any questions. If you have any questions, ask me now before I move on. Sorry, did you say TP1 75 pips? TP1, for those of you guys for the scalper, it would be 125 pips. TP1 would be 125, TP2 would be 175, and TP3 would be 225 for the scalper. Okay. And I will go over that on Thursday when I go over the scalper. Okay. Specific pop entries. A friend was telling us about trading crypto on Bybit. See, okay, so those are some, I'm going to look into those, you guys. I'll take a screenshot. What do you put inside of the journal? Okay, I showed you guys what I put in the journal. Where do I buy one of those? Amazon, you guys. My girl got me this one as a gift. I actually bought one for my boy Charlie. I know that who was it? Was it Gustavo? Somebody was selling them. I don't know I mean, I'm sure that you can use a forex trading journal for crypto. I think that the high frequency one is the only one that's different. I gave some trading journals to some of my team and they do high frequency. And so we kind of just like marked what to put for the high frequency trades, but you guys will figure it out. You guys will know the important stuff. Kim Torres has a great trading journal video. Go live. There you go, guys. She does. Actually, Kim Torres, she is very, very adamant about keeping a trading journal. On her lives when she's talking about it, and I love it, guys, because you're gonna love it. Okay, Amazon, yes, there you go. How far back do you trail your stop loss, guys? So my stop loss, my original stop loss, I always do 250, 300 pips. Okay. Anything more than that, I will put it more if, first of all, my account can handle it. And second of all, if I know it's just going to go in that direction and it's just that little pullback and I don't want to take like, I don't want to close it out and put it back in, right? Because I also take account the spread. So, excuse me, I do 250, 300 pips, but then from there, I immediately move it. Immediately. Guys, when I mean immediately, I mean that once I'm like 300, 400 pips in profit. And if you guys know Bitcoin, it moves fast. So I do it pretty fast, right? So I will move my stop loss to at least 75, like at least to break even, which you guys know with the spread, you have to move it at least 75 pips in profit. So I will move it to 75 to 100. And then the minute that it goes another 500 pips, I will move it to 500 pips in profit, and so on and so forth. So when I tell you guys that I get stopped out, I get stopped out and I do not cry about it because I still got in. And you guys can see right now, proof that there's always a chance to re-enter. So if you got stopped out in profit, celebrate that you guys took home the profit. You guys increased your balance, right? And then look for another entry. Now, do not look for another entry greedily. You guys get me? You're like, don't do it with greed. Don't force an entry. Do a logical analysis, technical analysis using fibs, using your indicators, whatever you use to see if it's going to be a good trade for you to get in. Because the last thing that you want is to be like, oh, well, I need to get in now. And then you market execute and then you're in drawdown like 50, 500, 600 pips, right? Don't do that. Don't lose the money you just made. Don't get in on a trade being greedy and lose what you just caught. Okay. If there's no entry, there is no entry. Walk away with a W. Okay. Put your greed aside. Bags, love you, queen. Okay. Caught the demand area. Shout out Curtis. Yes. It's hard to trade Bitcoin with $100 account. It's not that hard to trade Bitcoin with $100 account if you have KOT and you do pennies. As long as you're okay with taking home pennies and building that account up, it's good. Because that's how I still will like to flip small accounts. I think it's just, there's something about flipping a small account, like a $30 account, $20 account, into like 100, 200, because like anybody can have that. Like, I feel like it make it real for people. Does that make sense? And if you guys learn this and just do one trade, like if you would have just taken one trade there, even at a penny, at like a $30 account, and you guys would have been, what was that, like 100 pips in drawdown? So that's $1. If you would have done 200 pips, which was my stop loss, you guys still would have been okay, taking that 7 and 6 all the way down. And even with a small account like that, you could have added one more trade at a penny, right? Because then you're nothing in profit. But if you guys would have secured that bag and then just drawn another fib, you could have done that over and over again. That small $30 account, if you guys would have done this correctly using proper risk management and not been greedy, you could have turned that small $30 account into easily 300 bucks or more with this, because of the amount that you guys are increasing your account, and you guys can increase your lot sizes. So instead of a penny, then you start going to 2, and so on and so forth. So it is hard to trade $100 account if you're using higher lot sizes, but $100 is more than enough to start if you're going to start with pennies. And that is why I really do like KOT and Prosperity, because it allows anybody, the average Joe person that only has $50 to invest and put in their MetaTrader, it helps them do that, guys. But if you can do more than 100, do it, because you don't want to have to keep depositing. At least this gives you a little room to wiggle, especially now that the spread is so high. Okay. Let me see. I already answered that. I'm new here. I would love to learn how to trade Bitcoins. I only trade currencies. Get the DCX package and start, and we can definitely just jump on all of our Zooms. What's the difference? Thanks. My favorite feature, MT5, is automatic TP and stop loss. I think that's what Charlie was telling me about, how it like automatically, I think it moves your stop loss and does something. He said that I would love it. So I'm going to look into it. Will that friend of yours be doing the candle training soon? On the Hakanashi, we will. Right now, I think that we want to get down Fibs, and then once we can get down a time where he can do the training on the Hakanashi candles, we definitely will show you. We do use them a lot with Swipe Coin, and even just to catch trades. I still think Fibs are a little bit more accurate, or not accurate, but more like surgical. Like it gets like down to like you saw that 15-minute entry on that sell, like that was a fib, right? Momentum would have taken a while to build up before you started seeing on the way down, but adding the 2 confirmations, perfect. Can I snapshot your fib coordinates? Yes. Hold on. Can you guys see it? Hold on a second. Let me make this bigger. Hold on. Can you guys see it? Yes? I think that's it. Take a screenshot. That's my fib. Okay. Let me answer these other questions. All right. Let me see. I drew a fib on the daily and it went into my golden zone and I caught the write-up, supply and demand. Yes. So it was hitting we thought that it was going to go down to that sweet spot on the daily, but it didn't. It just missed it. Do I still think it's going to keep going down a little bit more? I think that it will be playing in that area for a minute before it shoots back up. Here today, yay, crypto, I'll learn a lesson. So once it passes the 618, almost for sure to go towards that direction. So once it passes the 618, so the 786, 886 is like the supply and demand zone. So what it does is it'll like get everybody, take everybody out, and then it could potentially go. Now, if it passes the 786 or the 886, there could still be another chance to enter. Now, at that point, you can just put, again, a buy stop or a sell stop, do stops instead of limits or market executions. You want to avoid market executions as much as possible when you're doing fibs, only because you want to eliminate your drawdown. Okay, so you want to be able to like catch it once the momentum starts going. So, but once it does pass like the 786, the 886, then it could have shifted to the different direction and then kept going up. But this is where you just kind of play it by ear, and you have stop losses, because if you have your stop loss and you got stopped out, you got stopped out. And then once you see it and you see that it hit the 786, but if it passes, because my stop loss is usually between the 786 and the 886. Okay, so once my stop loss gets hit, then it gets hit, and then I just watch it. I just look at price. I do not let my ego or my greed get in the way, and I do not immediately jump into a trade. I take a step back, I look at what I traded, I look at how it's going, and then I jump in on a trade. Okay. You don't modify, you place another trade. No, I always place another trade. I do not modify. When I'm, are you talking about when I enter the different trades? Or are you talking about my stop loss? Because my stop loss I do modify all the time. Like if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But as far as entering new trades, I enter new trades. I don't, because my account can handle it. And I'm sure that if you guys are this much in profit, then your account can handle it too. Um, what's the best educator to watch? Curtis Cobain, all day, every day. Curtis Cobain. He is amazing. He is the person that he has it on there. My fib is actually his fib. Like he's amazing. If you guys go back there and watch it over and over and over again, you guys will see what, like how much it could help you. Scalper calls before the 10,000 pip move. Yes, I love the scalper calls because sometimes you do catch it before they call it out. So the scalper did call a sell, and even if it didn't, like even if you wouldn't have caught it, like when we caught it with the fib, you would have eventually caught it. Like it would have been an active trade to take with step 1, step 2, step 3, marked it up. You guys could have taken it, and so you would have secured the 300 pips right away. Plus, you would have left that fourth one open to the moon. In this case, I just like the fibs because it gives you, it gives you more entries. Like it gives you another chance to re-enter. And this is where I want you guys to get in the habit of waiting. When Picasso calls out a trade, don't get in on it. Don't jump in market execution because you see that it says market execution on the trade, and he called it out 5 minutes ago, and you think that the trade would have already played out, because chances are that Picasso, if you would have read his thing, it says, I'm looking for buys in these areas. If it could maintain, you know, if price can stay and close above this thing, then it's a valid trade. If price, you know, closes below blah blah blah, trade is invalidated. Like he's telling you right there to wait and look. Now, the only person that I could tell you, like if he throws out a trade, take it right away, is Nick Gomez, because his XRP trades are like on point. His accuracy is amazing, and his trades usually have already played out. Like the minute he posts a trade, I promise you, like a minute later, he's like 50 pips in profit, and we're like, shit, you know, because it's already moved out. So he's the only trader that I could, or educator that I say take his trade right away. Picasso, the only reason why I tell you to look at it first, it's because I know what it's like to have FOMO. I know what it's like to think that you're going to miss out. Because what did I say? Every single one of you have been like, I'm going to catch that Bitcoin big swing up. So you have that in your head. You guys have that already. And so if Picasso gives out a trade, all of you are thinking that this could be the potential move up to $100,000 and I'm going to miss it. I need to jump in now. And then you guys jump in, and then you guys get stopped out because it starts going down to his lowest entry. And that's where you guys need to be like, look out for it. Like, look where he's calling it out. Look at the area and then see, because I promise you that a lot of you guys are losing money on Bitcoin because you are entering prematurely, because you guys are jumping in on FOMO, because you guys are greedy and you don't move your stop loss, because you guys think that it could keep coming up instead of just securing the bag and taking the money. Okay. I know for a fact there's people on this call that they're like, damn, yeah, okay, just at me next time, because you guys know, you guys feel it, and it's okay, be honest. Like I'm completely honest, 100%. Like it still happens to me. My partner makes fun of me because like he tells me that I have what is it called? PTSD, post traumatic stress, from trading, because he walked in on me the other day and I was asleep and I was holding my phone, and he says that I was holding it so tight, like if somebody was going to snatch it from me. And I was holding it like I hold my phone because I'm looking at price, and then I like move my stop losses because I'm so traumatized about how many times that I've not moved my stop loss and I've blown accounts. Or like the time, and I share this with you guys, when I lost the $9,000, I literally blew my account. And the only reason why I didn't get closed out is because I caught the buy at 22,000 and it was up almost at 40 grand. So I was positive in my profits, but I was negative in my balance. Literally, it's a negative 147. Guys, that's enough to make you have PTSD. And so he makes fun of me because I'm like this, right? So we've all done it. And so I have no shame. Like, yeah, okay, I blew accounts. Oh, well, you know, and it's not because I was greedy at that time. It was because I fell asleep. But you guys understand that if you were just move your stop loss, like, I don't know how many times I've woken up scared because I probably blew my account, and I had my stop loss set and I had my take profit set. And yet I still woke up like that because I'm traumatized, right? And so I want you guys to avoid that. I literally want you guys to be able to see you know, that you can be profitable with Bitcoin. All right. So let's say flipping 12 to 100 as we speak. Good. Hell yeah. Definitely have done this. Where can I get this recording? I'll send it to you guys. I'll let you guys know. Just message me on Instagram for it and I'll send it to you. I'm having difficult determining the entries from my markups. Okay. So on when you're drawing your fib, you have to draw it from left to right always, either from high to low, left to right, or low to high, you know, left to right. Right. And so when you guys, and let me show you guys here. I'll show you here. Let me delete this. So here you have, like here, left to right, always left to right. Remember, your fibs are always left to right. So when you're drawing your fib, you have to make sure that you're putting it on the wick of the highest closing candle if you're doing high to low. Okay. So like in this case, let me delete this. So here, this one right here is the highest closing candle. And again, I like to use it on my MetaTrader instead of here, just because my MetaTrader is more accurate. So if it's from here, so I'm going to put it right at the wick of that candle, and then I'm going to put it at the lowest closing candle, the wick of the lowest closing candle. So then it's right there. So this one doesn't happen to have a wick, so it's right there. So the 50%, 618. So your entry would be at the 50 and the 618. So like if you're going to do the 50 entry, then that's going to be your entry. So then it would be the 55,998, right? And if you want to do the 618 entry, like if you guys have small accounts, just do one entry, okay? And to be on the safe side, like in this case, if you would have took the 50, then you would have been in drawdown all this, right? And so let's see how many pips you would have been in drawdown from the 50 all the way here. So you would have been 550 pips in drawdown. So obviously that would have been bad. You guys would have gotten stopped out, and all you would have had to have done was just wait and then put a sell stop on the way down, right? But that is where I put my entries. Like you guys could wait and put maybe in the middle, wait for, like sometimes I don't use this one and I just wait for price to get to the middle. So I wait for price to hit the middle and then I put a sell stop here. So then that way, if it comes up and it activates this, I'll get it on the way down. Does that make sense? So your entries are always going to be where you feel safe for your account. So again, like I can't tell you always enter here, because look at this case. And this was a perfect example. It hit the 786 and it was like, it went up. Like that's 550 pips from the 50 all the way to the 786. So you would have been in drawdown. But if you would have seen that it's going up, like if you would have drawn this out for the sell and seen that it's coming up, like you could have waited. Like this is only 15-minute each candle. So this is going to be like, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. So like it would have been an hour that you would have seen price go up before you started seeing it going down. Once you started seeing going down, then you could have put the sell stop here and the sell stop here. Okay. So hopefully that helps there. Let me see what else. Cobain Club. Yes. He called a swing. It tagged stop loss today. I'm proud that I waited a little bit and did some. Yes, good. Once you guys get in the habit of doing your own analysis, then you guys will definitely be able to see the difference in your trading for sure. Oh, I recommended favorites. Okay. All of his favorites. I recommend all of Kurt Cobain's favorites, all of them. Do you still play the devil's advocate? I do. But when I'm ping ponging, I kind of just let my, like in this case, all I do is I trail my stop loss. I usually, when I do the devil's advocate, I do it when I'm not trailing my stop loss, or when I don't think, like if I'm ping ponging, all I do is I take profit when my other entry is like, from my buy, I take profit when my sell activates. And then I take profit on my sell when my another buy activates. And so I don't play it out in that case. But if I'm just kind of like trading and I don't see like a potential like to keep going in like how I am right now, then I'll play it out. But it's something that we can go over next time. So then that way, I want people to get the fib first, get it down, go into Curtis Cobain's videos, learn it, and then we can talk about a lot more of his stuff and then play it out. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so now we're gonna see where prices are right now. Okay, so here we go, you guys. So this is something. This is cute. My partner actually, he's the one who marked this up. So I again go to the daily and I look to see like what do we see, right? So on the daily we had marked up, and I did have like these are some areas where let me see, hold on one second, that I had some buys, and I had told him yesterday, like if you would have marked this up, like, you know, the low to high, where can you buy? This is on the daily, you guys would have gotten, it would have played out, okay? Now, if you guys go to the 4-hour, again, you're looking at a high to low, so there's a potential sell, you know what I mean? Now, this could or could not play out. Like this is just a potential sell area, okay? So on the 4-hour, on the big swing, this is 4 hours, okay? So you have a potential, you know, you have a higher high and you have a lower low, okay? A higher low, sorry, because price was lower before. So here, if you guys would have put your fib here on, this is on the 4-hour, okay? So this is the candle that I see that is lower. So this is a potential sell area, okay? So you guys can see, expect price to potentially come up to this area right here, okay? This is on the 4-hour. Again, like there's gonna be some shit that we're gonna see in between, okay? And then let's mark up our 786, just in case. So right here, okay? So there, okay? So this is on the 4-hour, all right? So this is what potentially could happen on the longer time frame. So long term, we can see price go up back to like 53, right? And then 51 something, which is pretty much the, what, if you're still on the call, Timo, that's what you had mentioned to me, like the 51,001, I'm sorry, 51.9 something, 50. This is the other one on the 1-hour. Okay, so this is an area that it could potentially come up to before it starts coming back down. Okay, so this is an area to look at. Now, am I telling you guys, set your sell limits right here? No, right? We want you guys to be able to look at this area and be like, okay, this is a potential area to look at, right? So then you go down to the 1-hour. Let's eliminate this fib though. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the 1-hour, all right? So this is an area that we have for the 4-hour. So now we look at the 1-hour. So if we do from high to low, again, I think this is the same. Is it the same that we did right now? No. Okay, so like here on the 1-hour, you see that this is another potential sell area. Okay, now here's the thing. When you see a swing on the long time frame, on the higher time frame, like it could play out. Like it could play out here and then come back down. So if you see a sell area on the 1-hour, yes, it could play out, but guess what? Look at where the 786 is on the 4-hour. Do you guys see, like sometimes our potential entries are going to be the 786 because it happens to be the sweet spot of the higher time frame. Okay, so you guys need to keep that in mind. So here's another potential sell area, right? So it could, if you got the 50 and the 618, you guys are already in drawdown. Look at the difference between here and here. How many pips is that? You guys would have already gotten stopped out, okay? That's 1,200 pips, okay? So this is where you guys have to understand, on the higher time frames, you cannot, like this, you cannot put a trade here and a trade here because you'll get stopped out, okay? Now you can wait, just wait it out and see how high. Guys, and even if price just comes a little bit up here, put a sell stop here, right? And then just trail your stop loss on the way down. But this is what I see on the 1-hour. Now, if you go down to the 15-minute, this is where we see buys. Check it out. I have my buy marked up right here, guys. So this from low to high, where can we buy? So let's eliminate this fib right here. So here we have, so here from this low, and this is all in between, because again, you guys, this is the lower time frame. So everything that you see on the higher time frame, you don't see it, but on the lower time frame, you could catch these sells or buys. So if you guys can see here, this was the last dip down, right? And if it came back up, like if you guys would have done even here, hold on, which candle is lower? Here. Let's see if we could have caught this buy right here. Look it. I didn't even mark this one up. I didn't take it, but look. Boom, buy. Okay. And then look, okay? So then like you guys could have caught it here. The minute that it started going down, let me trail your stop loss, you would have gotten stopped out, okay? So it kept coming down, kept coming down. If you guys would have done this high to low, like if this, because here it's too much consolidation for you to mark anything up, okay? You could get like super surgical and go to the 5-minute and probably caught something there. but I just, whatever. I already caught a lot of entries, right? So then, but this right here, this high and this low, it's like something that I see that I could potentially see a trade. So if I look here at the highest closing, even if I just do this one right here, high to low, 50%, 618 for a sell right here. And that one, it didn't wick the 786, but it did go up a little bit. So you guys could have waited, gotten stopped out, whatever, but then entered again for a little sell here, okay? So here, it came up again. You probably could have gotten stopped out if you would have moved your stop loss a little bit here. If not, then you would have waited for it to play out down here and then gotten stopped out here. Okay, guys. I don't know if this one would have potentially give you another sell, but let's try it. Let's see. So high to low, oops, to low. This one, if you would have used this wick, I'm sure that on our MetaTrader would have been here, but either one, it would have wicked it. You guys would have been in the 7/8. Wait, hold on one second, you guys. I drew it to the opposite side. There we go. 786, 886 for a sell. Another one. This one did not wick your 786. So there you go. Another little entry. Okay. Now here is that low to high. Okay, so then you would have done it here. The minute that it started coming up, you would have gotten stopped out. Okay. And then, so you see, some of you guys ask me, well, what do I put for TP? Sometimes I don't, and I just try my stop loss. I still caught pips, right? Let's see. How many would we would have caught? We would have taken the 618 and gotten stopped out, let's say like right here, 2,400 pips. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that, right? So then here we have a low to high. Where can we buy? There's our buy area right there. Now here is the 786 entry. So in this case, it did come down all the way here. Okay. So here you have, let's delete our fib here. So this one, you would have, if you would have taken this here, you guys would have gotten stopped out, but then you guys could have seen that it came back down and then could have caught it the way up. So even if you guys would have taken a buy, like put a buy stop here, wherever, a buy stop here, and then boom. The minute that you guys are trailing your stop loss, the minute it starts coming down, then you guys could have just, taken profit. So let's say if you would have even just caught it from the 50 and gotten stopped out like right here. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo, 1,300 pips. So then now we have another high created and another low. So then we do it again. Do you see how surgical you guys can get? How repetitive this is? How you can just do it over and over and over again? There's the 50% 618. I already had it marked up. Oopsie. Cancel. There it is, you guys. Barely wicked the 50. Then you got it come down. Probably would have gotten stopped out. If you didn't, it would have come back down. Gotten stopped out over here. But even if you guys would have gotten stopped out right away, like right here, that's 600 pips. If you wouldn't have, let's say you got stopped out over here, that's 2,000 pips. Okay. Right. So then that's it. So now you have a low to high. So we do it again, low to high. 50%, 618, wicked it, just the 50. You guys would not have gotten the 618. So from here, and look, we're still in a buy right now. We're up 4,000 pips from that one buy. Just right now. Like that's the trade. Are you still on the call, Timo? If you are, that's the trade that you caught. That's the buy that you sent me, right? And look, it's up 4,000 pips already. So do you guys see it? Do you guys see? Look at how many trades we just caught. We didn't have to wait for the educators to call out these trades. We didn't have to wait for the scalper, although I guarantee that the scalper probably called out a buy. Let's see. Look, boom, a buy 2 hours ago, right here. We would have put price around, yep, right here. Boom, break and close that area. It did right here. You could have entered your buy right here. Long position. How many pips are we up right now here in the scalper? So we're up 1,600 pips right now from the recent buy that they just called 2 hours ago. But from the other buy, actually we caught it somewhere down here, right? Let's go back over here. Cut it on the second swing here. We caught it down here. So we caught it with a fib down here. Do you guys see how sometimes the fibs catch it better than the scalper? But hey, if you missed it, guess what? The scalper got you. The scalper still got you in a really good trade. Okay. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Really, I just really wanted to go over your proper risk management, making sure that you guys get the spread down, and then making sure that you guys can see all of this awesomeness. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see? How many entries? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. And then the buy 4, right? And then here's that sell 5, 6, the buy 7, 8, 9. 9, guys, 9 entries. 9 times that you could have traded Bitcoin right now within the past 24 hours. 9 times that you guys could have traded, that you guys could have gone in on a trade, that you guys could have potentially got, if you missed one, you could have potentially got into another one. You know, 9 times that even if you guys would have gotten stopped out, guess what? You could have caught the momentum with a buy stop and eliminated drawdown and just continued to move your stop loss and still caught a decent amount. If you guys can add up all of these pips, if you would have taken every single one of these trades, I guarantee you just this right here would have made, I don't know, like maybe 6 months worth of your trading that you've had right now, like lately. Because you would have caught way more pips here, just right now, doing all of this, just throwing fibs on there. This is a little ping pong action. For those of you guys that were wondering, that's what it is. All I do is throw fibs, catch the sell. If I could catch a buy, catch the buy, boom. Here, I would have used momentum, caught the buy to the sell area, down, again, down, again, down, again, down. So now it's up. Now, do you see this? Oh, let's look at this. We got a white candle. Check it out. Here we go. So now let's look at this, okay? So I'm going to move this really quick. I'll move it right back. Okay, the blue candle is the lowest closing. Okay, so now we have a white candle. So let's mark it up. So we have the bottom candle, the lowest closing candle to the top, which is that one. So low to high, where can you buy? So guess what, you guys? We might being the key word, have a potential buy area right here. But if it doesn't pass, if it can't get past the white hot zone, the 236 and the 886, if it comes here, it bounces off, comes a little bit higher, comes back down, if it bounces off again here, and then it could just that could be potential move up to this spot, and maybe we'll look at another sell here in this area, okay? But if it doesn't, then if it breaks past the 236, 382, chances of it hitting your sweet spot, pretty high. And again, this is a 4-hour sell. So how many ups and downs did we catch before that 4-hour played out? Do you see what I'm saying? So you can set alarms when price gets around here, because then you could see like how momentum's going. You could look at all other indicators. But in this case, if it comes down here and hits, chances of it coming up to this area and this area are pretty high. Not to mention, if it does, let's say, let me see. Do I have a little paintbrush? Where's my little paintbrush? Is it on this one? Do I not have a paintbrush? What the hell? I guess I don't. I thought I did. Anyways, if it comes down here and then comes back up, what did it create? It created another high to low. So then you could mark it up high to low. And so if anything, it might come up and then come back down again. So guys, this is what I have for you. You guys can see it. I hope that I was able to like show you guys a little bit more. I'm gonna stop sharing just so I could see everybody's face. We did lose a couple of people. Let me look at the chat. So you would still put the buy or sell limit for the 786 on the 15-minute, because I remember Curtis said that the 786 is the best for, yes, because on the 15-minute, like I said, on the lower time frame, chances of it getting to the 786, 886 are pretty high, only because that happens to be the sweet spot of the higher time frame. So yes, I still do put sell stops or buy stops on the 786 on the lower time frame. I'm more of a swing trader, like I'm more of the higher time frames, and then I do go down and I'll like ping pong back and forth on the smaller time frames. But if I'm marking up a fib on the 15-minute, chances of it hitting that like 786, 886 are really high. So yes, I still do put a buy stop or a sell stop in those areas. So much value. Thank you. You're welcome. Kurt said you have to see what the candle's doing in the zone before taking any action. Yep. That's why I always tell people to wait and see. Always check. Don't enter any trade prematurely. Don't ever just market execute. I always look, like I said, if I miss a trade, I miss a trade. I don't care, because chances are there's another chance for me to re-enter a trade. Chances are that there's going to be something, another fib forming or something going on. And I look at everything. Like I literally look at all of my indicators. I know that I didn't show you guys, but I do use Bollinger Bands a lot. I don't have them on my trading view right now because like I said, I took it off to put on another indicator that I use with the Hakunashi candles. But for the most part, like I look at all of the indicators, and I still look at anything that I could look at to help me determine whether it's going to be a good trade or not. I look at it because I'd rather be confident, like 100% confident that it's going to be in that area, which it's never 100%, right? But I'd rather be more sure as opposed to just constantly getting into trades that I'm going to lose out. Because trust me, you guys, if you keep getting red, if you keep closing out in red, then you guys are going to get discouraged and you're not going to want to trade crypto. Like this is where you guys are going to be like, oh, I want to do HFX, or oh, I want to do this, or I want to do that. And there's nothing wrong with trading Forex. There's nothing wrong with trading HFX. But I just think that you can trade less and make more with cryptocurrency. You guys can learn a lot more. And right now, the way that Bitcoin is moving, and guys, what you guys saw in Bitcoin right now, it was the exact, actually, let me show you guys that. This is the exact same thing in Ethereum. So for those of you guys, if you guys are catching this in Bitcoin, you guys are catching it in Ethereum. Like let's take a mental note, a screen, like a mental picture of this chart right here. Like, let's look at it. Okay. So here you have Bitcoin, right? Now let's look at Ethereum. Look at that, you guys. It's the exact same thing. So you guys could have caught all of those sells on Ethereum as well. So this is why I love Bitcoin. And this is why I tell people stick with Bitcoin, because you guys can literally be catching all of these pips here and also catch them on Ethereum. And so this is something that you guys can see the potential. If you guys are catching that many pips on Bitcoin and capitalizing and doing the same thing on Ethereum, then you guys are doubling the amount of pips that you guys are making. You guys are doubling your profits. Okay. Now you guys can see like that. Somebody posted that it was like a 15-hour time frame that we caught all of those pips from the 58,000 all the way down to the 48. Guys, 15 hours that it took to play all that out. Now it wasn't 15 hours straight on your computer, right? It was like you played it out, you moved your stop loss, and I do trail my stop loss. Like I'll put alerts to trail it. And the alerts, you can do it on TradingView. Okay. And I do it manually. I don't have a automatic trailing stop loss, but I do think that you can do that with your MetaTrader if you have it on your computer. I don't think Apple can do it, but I think that if you have a Windows, correct me if I'm wrong, for anybody that has MetaTrader on the computer, I think that it automatically trails your stop loss for you. So that's a plus. That's something cool, that a cool feature that you guys can have. But yeah, you guys, that's it. I mean, I have nothing else for you guys. I really enjoyed sharing this information with you. I hope that you guys got some value. Take everything that you learn and back test it. For those of you guys, it makes me so happy to see you guys mention Kurt and everything that he trains on, because that is how I learn. And you guys are watching his videos. You guys are learning. Whatever I don't share, he can share for you. You know, you guys can get that information from our academy. This is why it's important for you guys to keep your academy. It's important for you guys to keep up with your tuition. Okay. The tuition is for you. That's your knowledge. That's something that nobody can ever take away from you. And guys, I know that I mentioned Curtis Cobain a lot and I don't mention Crypto Picasso, but guys, Crypto Picasso is still hands down one of the best crypto traders that I've ever had the privilege of learning from. You know, my partner right now, he's like diving deep into all of Crypto Picasso's videos. And it's so funny, you guys, because I do have Crypto Picasso's course from before he became an educator with the academy. And my partner was watching them and he's like, damn, like he predicted everything that's happening now. Like you have to understand that these videos are old. Like these are videos from like when price was at like 3,000, 2,000. Okay. And he predicted so much of the stuff that is going on now. And so I'm not just saying only crypto Picasso. No, guys, once you guys learn the basics with with Curtis Cobain, jump into Picasso's lives, jump into his recorded sessions, because I guarantee that he's gonna open up a different way of trading for you guys. So all the way down. Yep, he uses all like he uses so much of the like the psychological aspects of it. Like he all of his training videos, everything, he goes into a lot of the emotional waves that people fall into, which they do it religiously. It's and we just actually played one out. We were up, everybody was in euphoria. Yeah, 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 woohoo, buy more Bitcoin. And then boom, 40, 45,000, 43,000. Imagine all of those people that bought Bitcoin at 50, 55, 58. Imagine what they're thinking now. So thank you guys. That's it. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will stop the recording now. And if you guys want the recording, just send me a message and I'll shoot it to you guys. But that's it. Thank you so much. See you guys on Thursday. For anybody that has brand new people, we do the intro to crypto on Thursday. We missed it last Thursday because my computer was, I didn't find the charger and it was dead. But this Thursday I will be back. So yeah, see you guys. Peace.